All right, everyone. Welcome to the 187th District Court. You are in a courtroom. What that means is you are to behave no matter where you are. If you're at work, if you are at your home, you are technically in the 187th District Courtroom. And anything that you could not do if you were present in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you do not behave professionally, you will be required to appear in person. To all of the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back. To everyone else, and this includes the inmates and everyone, you are not allowed to use the chat box to pick up dates on this Zoom screen. This is not The Bachelor. It is not The Bachelorette. To all attorneys, if you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, no matter how small that plea bargain agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to Norma Ferguson. She's listed as Ferguson Coordinator. Please do not call Ms. Ferguson asking for a continuance, asking for a reset. Don't text her, don't chat her, asking her for that, because I'm the only person who can give that to you. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to go. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to the breakout room. Defense attorneys, you can see there are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors, so please be patient. This is Wednesday. Let's not try to turn this Wednesday into a Monday. Put some patience in your pocket. I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. I'm not going to call the defendants or those who are accused of a crime. Your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. We've started late today. The reason we've started late today is I'm in charge of jury selection this entire week. So we went a little over today. So for that, I apologize. This is the order in which attorneys will appear. If you see your law on the list and you would like to go to another Zoom, you're more than welcome to do that. But if you do and your name is called, you will be placed at the bottom of the list. Dirk Ashbaugh, Gary Hillier, Eric DeWalt, Greg DeMare, Joanne DeHoyas, Joseph Stetson, Karen Corby, Kyle Ernst, Susan Kramer, Jaime Aldape, Thomas Beck, James DeWiggins, Kyle Simpson. Is there any attorney's name that I did not call? Okay. Attorneys, when I call your name, I need to know the name of your client and I need to know whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. Dirk Ashbaugh.
Good morning, Judge Adelano Carrillo. We're here on a violation report. I don't think that he's present, Judge. The last time we were here, it was very difficult to get a hold of him. I've called and tried to notify him of this setting, but as of now, I haven't heard anything, Judge.
Just one moment. Let me see if I can find that. Can you give me the cause number, please?
Yes, Judge. Let me just pull up my email. I believe it's 2 unindicted night mag cases, Judge.
All right. And you say it's a violation report?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to keep it a Wednesday. I'm putting patience in my pocket, but for some reason, I do not have that violation report. Why I don't have a violation report?
You should have it because I sent it over, Judge. It should be. I'll go
I
over
don't
there.
have it. All right. Thank you. All right. We'll come back to you. Gary Hillier.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Jacob Garcia, and I have a cause number if you're ready.
Oh, no, just as a criminal trial division or family violence?
Apologies, I believe it's family violence, and we're here on a motion to amend his bond conditions for travel.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. Prosecutor will meet you there. All right, thank you. All right, Eric DeWalt.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Ozzie Ibarra. It's Criminal Trial Division. It's sentencing, but I need to talk to Tom Nesbitt if possible, regular Criminal Trial Division.
You say Ozzie what?
Ibarra.
It's page 1 of the PSI, Judge.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Greg DeMarie.
Good morning, Judge. John Clifford, Criminal Trial Division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Joanne De Hoyos.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
It is George Kelly. It's 2020 CR 8051, motion to withdraw.
Okay.
A criminal trial division, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room, number 5, and then
With, my client doesn't want to talk to me, Your Honor, but I'll try.
no, number 5 with the state, and then we'll address
Oh, okay.
your motion to withdraw.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Joseph Stetson.
I'm with Joanne De Hoyos, if I can go into breakout room 5.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, thanks. Karen Corby.
Morning, Your Honor. I have 2 cases. They're both criminal trial division. One of them we already have an agreement on, Shaquille Houston. Max Sanchez, I need to confer, please.
I'll send you to number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cal Ernst.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Renee Pena, and that is a CTD case. Could I please get put in a breakout room with the state?
I'll send you to breakout room number 7. Suzanne Kramer. Suzanne Kramer. Jaime Aldape.
Morning, Your Honor. Family violence, Juan Laque. We have an agreement. I just need to go over the plea paperwork with Mr. Laque. He's in custody.
All right, let me see if he has made it out yet. Just one second. Yes, he's here. I'll see you to breakout room number 8. Mr. Laque, if you could go to number 8, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. I'm just trying to find your client on the screen. Just one second.
It says Laque 12 on his.
All right.
bubble.
Thank you. I sent you to number 8.
Okay.
All right, Thomas Beck.
Good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who do you have?
Shaquille Houston. This is not a family violence case. Karen Corby already announced on that case. She has an agreement where all of his cases are going to be wrapped up. I happen to be on a state jail felony. She's on higher up felonies. I don't know that I really need to be here. I have spoken to my client recently. He understands the case that I'm on is going to be TIC'd. So I would like to be excused, but whatever would make the court happy.
Oh, no, you can be excused then. If we need you, we'll call you back, okay?
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, thank you. James DeWiggins.
Ramon Longoria, Your Honor. It's an MTR criminal trial division, but he also has some new number 1. So I don't know how we want to deal with all that.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Kyle Simpson.
Yes, Judge. I'm here on Jaleesa Sedbury, maybe under Julie McDonald. This case, there should be a dismissal that's being submitted as part of a plea bargain agreement. We entered a plea in County Court 8 earlier this week.
All right, just give us a moment. And we will find out what's going on.
Okay, may I be excused for a little bit? I can check back in, but I'm supposed to be in the 290th.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, Anthony Rabago.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm here on Xavier Doxie. It's a MTR arson criminal trial division.
I don't believe there's any new cases.
Okay. How do you spell the last name? Is it Dotson?
I have Doxie. He's in custody and he's here today, Your Honor.
Oh, Doxie. Okay. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I just want to know my lawyers. She's here, Victoria Cruz.
No, your attorney hasn't shown up yet. You may want to call them on the phone.
Yeah.
All right, Dirk Ashball. Dirk Ashball.
Yes, Judge.
Hi, your client is Carrillo. is that correct?
Adelano. Yes, Adelano Carrillo, Judge.
All right, have you had any contact with them?
The last time, Judge, was actually when we were here. It's very difficult to get a hold of him. It's my understanding that he doesn't really have a working phone. And so how it happened last time is I called the numbers that I had, and I believe his mom answered, and she went and found him somewhere. And he had to use a friend's phone to actually log into the Zoom hearing that we had last time. I've tried to get a hold of him the same way, and I haven't heard anything back yet at this time.
All right, I'm putting some numbers in the chat box, and these are numbers that are in the violation report. I don't know if these are numbers that you've tried calling.
I'll check, Judge. I've called a few different ones, but thank you.
All right, so if you can check on that and let me know.
Okay, Judge, I'll call and then I guess just check back in with you and go from there.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Joanne De Hoyos and Joseph Stetson.
Thank you.
You're here on George Kelly.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is George Kelly in custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kelly, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me see if we have a prosecutor available. They may be all in breakout rooms.
I'm here, Marcus.
All right, awesome. We're going to go on the record. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8051, State of Texas versus George Ryan Kelly. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Joanne De Hoyos.
All right, and are you George Ryan Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
None, Your Honor.
All right, defense, the court is in receipt of your motion to withdraw as counsel. Before we hear this motion, I have a question for Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, are you hiring an attorney?
No, ma'am.
So how are you planning, if I grant Mr. Hoyos' motion to withdraw, where do you think an attorney is coming from?
I was gonna ask for a new state appointed counsel, ma'am.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works. Here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. Your attorney that was appointed to you was chosen from the will. Taxpayers are paying for that attorney. You don't get to come to court and say, I want to choose my own court-appointed attorney. If you want a specific attorney, then you need to hire that attorney. I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. Let me just tell you why I usually find that communication breaks down. Defense tenders an offer that the state has made. And I always require the state in this court to make an offer. And I always require, and ethically, the defense attorney has to tender that offer to you. You can say you think that offer is crazy. You can say that you think that offer is just ridiculous. You can say, I don't deserve that. This is what I want. You can do all of those things. But at the end of the day, the state can make whatever offer they want to make to you. Your defense attorneys have an obligation to tender that offer, and you can either accept it or reject it. If you reject it in this court, you're either going to a jury trial or a bench trial if people agree. But one thing we're not doing is people are not going to be allowed to say, I'm firing my court-appointed counsel when in the first place, you're not paying for them, so you didn't hire them, and you don't get to choose which court-appointed attorney you want. So one or two things is going to end up happening here today. Either you're hiring an attorney or you're not, but you're not picking and choosing which court-appointed counsel that you want. Do you understand?
Not really. I filed a motion actually to hire a new state appointed counsel, and
no, you don't
so,
hire a state appointed counsel. What ends up happening is if you can't afford an attorney, one is appointed to you. Correct. So obviously you went through some process, and the attorney who was appointed to represent you is Joanne De Hoyos. So I don't understand what people are not understanding. Maybe there's a breakdown in communication. So let me unbreak that to make everything and make the process crystal clear. When you come in to the Bexar County Jail or wherever you are, or you're a defendant who's accused of a crime, there's a form you fill out to determine whether or not you can afford to hire your own attorney. And when I say afford to hire your own attorney, that means that's money that comes out of your pocket. That's not the taxpayer. That's not me. That's not the court reporter. There's not anybody on this screen paying for you. That's you coming out of your own pocket from whatever job you work and paying or hiring an attorney. Court appointed attorneys are not, I'm getting rid of this court appointed attorney and I'm hiring another, because you didn't hire Mr. Hoyos, who's appointed to you. Okay. So the question becomes whether or not you are going to hire an attorney, which means you're taking money out of your pocket, or you have some family member who's going to hire an attorney for you. Yes or no?
Nope.
All right. So that means that Mr. Hoyos is your court-appointed attorney. And either you're going to jury trial or you're not going to jury trial. Either you're accepting the state's offer or you're not accepting the state offer. These are questions for you to answer, and they're completely up to you. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Hoyos, was an offer given to you from the state?
Yeah, may I, if you could take judicial notice of the case history, he actually signed for, accepted a plea bargain of 6 months. When we had a breakout situation, when there was a jail problem with the speaker, we had to wait an hour to take the plea. In between signing and coming back, he decided he was going to hire his own attorney. I put that in my motion. You gave him a couple of days to hire an attorney. He did not. You gave him another day, a weekend to hire an attorney. He did not. At that time, he asked for a court-appointed attorney. You denied it. I have tried to reach out to him twice on ICS because he does not have a bond, and we wanted to find out how much bond he could make so he can get out of jail. He refused. He actually declined for us to go and talk to him. I called his girlfriend because in his own words, he said his girlfriend had his money. So I called his girlfriend. His girlfriend actually told me I couldn't speak to him and hung up on me. I have no communication with him. I can't even help him get out of jail. He won't even talk to me.
Okay. Well, Mr. Kelly, this is the situation we're in. You won't talk to
the
your
state
attorney?
the lowest amount possible. He has pending cases. My understanding was he was trying to employ an attorney to handle some other cases that are serious with this case. I advised him that, if you set a bond, that attorney could be the bondsman and the attorney. I have not been able to communicate with him or his girlfriend. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kelly, do you want to talk to your attorney or no?
Sure. I mean,
now here's the thing. That's either yes or no. How old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Why are you acting childish?
I'm not acting childish.
Mr. Kelly, here's the thing. You can either talk to your attorney or not talk to your attorney. But I tell you what, you're either going to jury trial or you're accepting a plea. And you're either accepting a plea with an attorney that you won't talk to, or you're going to jury trial with an attorney you won't talk to. That's completely up to you. These are choices that we all have to make. And you know what I've discovered in my short time on the planet? And I say short time, I'm in my 50s, but I still say short time. I've discovered on my time on the planet is that people don't want to take responsibility or suffer or accept consequences for their actions. So here are your actions. You're not talking to your defense attorney. So if you want to go to trial with a defense attorney that you've never talked to, that's completely up to you. But this is the defense attorney. Unless you hire an attorney, this is the defense attorney you're going to trial with. You can take a plea without talking to your defense attorney. If you want to do that, that's completely up to you. But you'll be taking a plea with a defense attorney you've never talked to. So these are things that are completely up to you. If you don't want to talk to your appointed counsel, then that's completely up to you. But the consequences are you'll be going to trial with a counsel that you've never spoken to. But you're not getting a new court-appointed attorney. You're not paying for a court-appointed attorney because that's not how it works. This is the court-appointed attorney that the system chose for you. So, Ms. De Hoyos, I'm going to deny your motion to withdraw. And Mr. Kelly, you can talk to your attorney or not talk to your attorney. That's completely up to you. But I tell you what, something's going to happen today. Either a plea is going to be entered today, or either we're going to give you a jury trial date. And once a jury trial date is selected, the court will not accept any plea agreements. Your plea deadline date is today. So whatever you want to decide to do, jury trial, or if you want to decide to accept a plea, that's completely up to you. So I will send you to a breakout room to talk with your attorney. If you choose, Mr. Hoyos, if he chooses not to speak with you, just let the court know and we'll give you a trial date.
Your Honor, may I inquire from the DA, is the old offer still available to us, the 6 months?
He's shaking his head, yes.
Okay, thank you. Then and my client will talk to me. I'll be happy to relay that to him.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5. Mr. Kelly, you're going to breakout room number 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else who's ready?
Judge, I'm back. This is Kyle Simpson. I'm here on Jaleesa Sedbury. It may be under Julie McDonald. This is the case I mentioned earlier that there should have been a dismissal tendered.
All right, State, do you have the dismissal on Sedbury?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be sending that dismissal right now.
All right, thank you.
Excellent, Judge. May my client not be excused?
Yes, you can be excused, and I will sign that motion as soon as I have it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. Everyone, just give me a moment, please.
The attorneys, my attorney's the only one that did answer. She's on there. She's there now.
Everyone, just one moment. Let me see if I have any paperwork to sign. To the clerks, you should be having some paperwork on lock coming back to you.
And Your Honor, if I may, I have a plea with Ozzie Ibarra, but I'm done talking with Tom Nesbitt. Could I speak with my client briefly?
Just give me a moment.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, to the clerk, if you go to breakout room number 8, please. All right, and Eric DeWalt, you are in breakout room number 3. And who is your client, Mr. DeWalt?
Unmute Mr. Ibarra.
All right, Mr. Ibarra, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, please. All right, Gary Hilliard, you're back.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I'm back. I've conferred with the state, Ms. Vasquez, on our travel motion. Do you need the cause number, Your Honor?
No, just give me a moment. So what is the agreement?
Ms. Vasquez is, I believe she's not opposed to our request. As long
Is
as-
that correct, Ms. Vasquez?
That's correct, Your Honor. And I did speak with Mr. Hillier, and as long as the defendant knows to have no contact with the complainant and upon return from his travels to report to the pretrial officer and subject to a year analysis.
All right, Mr. Hillier, if you will email me an order that has your agreement in it, the court will sign it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I
And
will-
if you'll include the state in that email. And state if you'll sign off on the order. Norma, when is our next court date for Jacob Garcia?
Let me check, Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I be excused to go and handle that order and get it sent to the court?
Just give me one moment, please.
Will you, Judge?
I'm trying to see when your client's next court date is. Is it July 22nd, Norma? Because I think that's what I have in the docketing sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, yes, you can be excused to get that accomplished.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, you too. All right, anyone else back from the breakout room?
Hey, Judge, I'm back. I had called 2 of those numbers previously. The one I didn't have, I called, there was no answer. And this is on Adelano Carrillo.
All right, Norma, on Adelano Carrillo, can you just see if you can have a pretrial services officer zoom in to make sure that they've had no contact with Mr. Carrillo since they filed this on July 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ashbach, before I take any action, I just want to make sure that they haven't had any contact with him.
Okay, Judge.
All right, they should pop in pretty quickly. They're very good about popping in. All right, and Mr. Ramirez, who is your attorney?
Okay, it's Victoria Cruz.
Okay, all right, just give us a moment. We'll try to see where she is. Did you give her a phone call?
Yeah, I called her and she's they say they're gonna let her know.
Okay, all right. Then she's usually pretty good about popping in, so I'm sure she'll be in as soon as she finishes with another court.
Okay.
All right, are you in a porta potty?
Yeah, I'm sweating a lot.
I tell you what, if you want to step outside, because far be it for me to have someone sitting in a porta potty, hopefully nobody's used it yet. You can step outside to get a breath of fresh air.
Okay.
All right, I understand.
Yeah, because I wanted my foreman or the people that work here right now, they see me, on the phone, so they don't want to see nobody on the phone. So kind of like
Okay.
I'm take care of that too.
All right, well then just wait there. But if you need to, open the door a
Yeah.
little bit, some fresh air, do so.
Judge, he should be logging in soon, or he should
All right,
be.
thanks.
Thank you.
Juan Reyes, is Juan Reyes here?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Reyes. I know that your attorney is in trial, but I wanted to call you to make sure that you saw the doctor that you were supposed to speak to. Were you able to meet with them?
Yes, he called me that day and we were able to meet up on the last court date.
All right. Did he complete his interview of you? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know he was gonna reach out to a couple of, like, my sister for some follow-up questions or whatever he had.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to get him some medical records from the VA, which I'll be doing this week.
Okay. All right. This is where, Norma, can I get a 30-day reset on Mr. Reyes?
Yes, ma'am. We can come back on, let's see, oh, this mouse is.
And Victoria, I'll send you to breakout room number 11.
We can come back on August, we can do August 20th, Judge.
All right, we're gonna come back on.
I'm sorry, Judge. We can change that to August 16th.
All right, we're gonna come back on August 16th, Mr. Reyes, just to see where we are, okay?
Okay. Thank you,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
All right, you're excused. We'll see you August 16th, and let your attorney know as well, all right?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Joanne De Hoyos, you're back?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it possible I go to breakout room, Marcus? I just have to clarify something. I think we have a plea bargain. Thank you.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Your Honor, may I also ask a personal point of indulgence? I'm in a closet in Port Aransas at my niece's bachelorette party.
Okay.
And I have so is it okay if Joseph handles the plea or if we arrange it for Monday? If we do get a plea, I mean, I'll come back if you need me to. It's just
No,
I have.
that's fine if Joseph handles it, but let me just tell you something. You're in a closet. Mr. Orlando Ramirez is in a porta potty.
But I'm in Port Aransas, okay? And I'm only doing this because the girls are really loud outside. So.
Okay. All right. I was wondering where you were. No,
I know,
it's
yes,
fine if he does that.
Okay. So let me go and ask Marcus a question, but we have a deal.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Happy Wednesday, people. Happy Wednesday.
And Judge, we have a deal worked out on Renee Pena.
Okay. All right.
And
Make sure you're not driving.
Oh, I'm not driving. I'm not driving right now. I'm parked.
Okay. All right. I don't want to be a witness or the cause of an accident. And Joanne, I sent you to breakout room number 3.
Oh, sorry. Just saw it. So thank you.
No problem. All right. If you'll get that agreement to me, we will take it up.
Okay. And Your Honor, it's I don't know. Do you want me to message Norma or just announce right now?
No, message Ms. Ferguson, please.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Eric DeWalt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. What is happening with Mr. Ibarra?
Your Honor, we took a plea a while back and we are ready for sentencing when the court deems ready.
All right. Just give me a moment. Suzanne Kramer.
Yes, Judge, I was just about to, I told David that I would text him as soon as I jumped in. So because I think he's in the 227th Zoom right now. But he and I have been talking. Apparently Freddie no longer works with the office.
Yeah.
And so David said that he was going to take over the porn case.
All right.
There's still quite a bit of evidence that I've not seen just by the nature of it. And of course, for my client to see it, who he is in the courtroom right now. Oh, I haven't turned on my video. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's in the courtroom. I have to schedule an appointment to take him up to the DA's office to look at that because as you know.
All right. Well, just one second. As soon as David Moonen pops back in, let me know.
I'll tell him. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. And then are the parties ready on Ibarra?
And Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you move, I think it's Greg and John Clifford, his client, into a breakout room? I don't know if you moved them.
All right, Greg Demare. If you'll go back to breakout room number 4, and Mr. Clifford, if you'll go to 4. And Marcus Sanders, could you go to breakout room number 3 with Joanne DeHoyo? She has some information on Mr. Kelly. And who is the attorney for the state on DeWalt's client?
Tom.
All right, let me grab your client's phone. All right, it's clear that I didn't take this plea because there are no notes on the docketing sheet. Everyone, just give me one moment. All right, David Noonan, I'm going to make you a co-host. And Suzanne Kramer, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 12.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 12332, State of Texas versus Ozzie David Ibarra. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense?
Eric DeWalt, I represent Mr. Ibarra.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ibarra, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi. Do you have any objection with us proceeding by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it appears that a plea agreement was reached on May 13th. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state proceeded on the lesser included offense of robbery. The state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. The state is remaining silent on your application for deferred adjudication. The state is recommending community supervision. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the state has recommended that your client receive community supervision. They're silent on deferred. Defense, is there anything you want to offer in behalf of your client?
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Ibarra has been to my office many times. I've got a chance to talk to him on multiple occasions. He has goals in life. He strives to be a better man. He really does. He has some mental issues. I know in the TAP evaluation, they want him to do the dual diagnosis, either inpatient or outpatient treatment. And I would ask the court to please, allow him the outpatient treatment, dual diagnosis treatment, and the MIC type of probation. And we're asking for deferred adjudication on the onset. I believe he can be successful on this. I know he has goals. I know the anger issues are part of him staying on his medication. I do know there was a co-defendant on this case. It was his brother. He also had the same plea. That's why Mr. Ibarra was offered this, and he had a chance at deferred adjudication. I know in Mr. Ibarra's own words, he's asking for this chance. He has been placed on deferred adjudication once before, and he completed it successfully. I will attempt to help him be as successful as he can, but I know in his own words and in his attempts, he would love this opportunity to show you he could be successful on your deferred adjudication.
All right, I'm looking at the PSI report and it says that he minimizes guilt. What is going on with that?
Your Honor, if I may, in the fact pattern, it started out as an aggravated robbery. And yeah, I'm not going to mismince the facts, but there was a gentleman that came by that was talking bad about his mom, and him and his brother lost their cool. And there was a fight that ensued and a backpack that was taken. I'm not trying to minimize it in any way. There was an anger issue and something went down, and Mr. Ibarra knows what he did was wrong. But there was no plan set in place to rob somebody. I'm not trying to minimize it, as neither is my client. We are dealing with a mental issue and some, I believe, if given the assistance with the MIC unit, he could be successful. I know he's out there alone trying to make it on his own, and it's tough. I've talked to him about employment. I've talked to him about education. I've talked to him about a relationship that he's currently in, and I know he's trying to make that work. He has some support out there.
And what about the misdemeanor cases?
So Judge, if I could just be unsilent, I'm sure Eric's going to be okay with this, just very briefly.
Yes.
If whatever you're going to order right now,
Mhm.
you can just include BIP, please. And the
Okay.
state is going to TIC those cause numbers. Eric and I have fleshed those out as a part of a, called like gentleman's agreement outside the agreement kind of thing.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ibarra, can you unmute yourself, please?
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ibarra, I know you better than I know you, better than your attorney knows you, better than the state knows you. So I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can't give people choices, but here's your choice. If I place you on regular probation, just 1 second, off the record, Mr. Houston, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Karen Corby, if you could move to breakout room number 3, please. And Mr. Houston, if you could go to 3. All right, we're back on the record. So, Mr. Ibarra, if I place you on 6 years probation, which will be a conviction, if for any reason you were unsuccessful, the most time you could be sentenced to in prison is 6 years. If I give you deferred adjudication and you're unsuccessful, the most time that you could be sentenced to prison is 20 years. So you know whether or not you're going to have issues on probation better than I do, better than your attorney does, better than the state's attorney does. So don't lie to yourself. Just ask yourself internally whether or not you can complete deferred, whether or not you can complete regular probation. It's completely up to you. These are your choices. So what would you like to do?
Yes, Your Honor. I have accepted the things that I did, and I do look on them as things that were grave mistakes. And I do know that as of now, I am suffering with some sort of illness that I'm not really sure about from childhood trauma. And I know that coming out on probation, I will be incredibly successful because I know that it's no place for me. Your Honor.
All right, so you're asking for deferred adjudication?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so where are you going to be living?
I'm going to be living with my mother.
All right, do you feel that's a good idea, a good placement for you? Because here's the thing, Mr. Ibarra. At a minimum, the state has agreed for you to have probation. When people are placed on probation in this court, I want them to be successful. If I didn't think they could be successful, I wouldn't place them on probation. So now comes the part where I have to make decisions and give you conditions so that you can be successful. Mr. DeWalt, you know your client. Is this a good placement for him with his mom?
Your Honor, I believe so. I believe trying to save a conviction, especially a felony conviction on his record, might open up some opportunities. And this might be the chance to really help him with these issues if placed in the MIC unit.
All right, I was reading the report. Mr. Ibarra, are you on some type of SSI?
I'm not really sure what that is, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, is he employed, Mr. DeWalt? Does he have employment or is he on SSI? Because I've read through the entire PSI report and there appears that there's been childhood trauma. And then based upon what his salary is, it seems that there may be other issues. Do you know if he's receiving SSI or anything of that nature?
I do not know if he's receiving SSI. I know he was going to some counseling, and I don't know how that was being paid for. So I'm not sure.
All right, so I'm going to do $1,000 fine, probated, 6 years deferred adjudication, restitution, if any, to Christian Fausel, Fausel, the BIP course, 200 hours of community service restitution. He's going to have to do those hours. I'm not going to allow him to buy those hours out. Proof of employment, or SSI, within 60 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or any employment that involves minors. So what that means, Mr. Ibarra, is that you can't even be a home healthcare provider for your mom. I know some people do that. So you're not allowed to do that at all. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
All right, so what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I want to pursue a music career, but as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to make sure that I find a job, probably around the neighborhood, maybe construction, something that will definitely keep my time busy.
All right, are you able to Zoom or no?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to do field visits 3 times per month. That'll be random. He's going to be evaluated for placement on the MIC unit, on the MIC caseload at least.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And he will report by Zoom weekly until that evaluation is complete. And I'm not doing the weekly Zoom to punish you, Mr. Ibarra. I just want to make sure that we know where you are and that you stay on the path that you need to stay on to be successful. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I do not have any problem with that. I am most grateful.
And does he have a case manager or anything, Mr. DeWalt?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ibarra, what are your plans for obtaining your meds when you're released from custody?
As soon as I get out, I'm going to head to the doctor and tell them that I want to make sure I get my medications going up again and make sure that they're the right medications.
All right. Rebecca, I'm going to order Center for Healthcare Services. Just make sure he gets there so he can stay on his medications and is on his correct medications. And there's going to be regular UAs. Mr. Ibarra, what I've discovered in my time on the planet is that sometimes when people have mental health issues, instead of taking their medications, they end up taking drugs because the medications cause side effects. Here's the thing. If your medication causes a side effect, you need to let your doctor know, because if you don't let them know, they don't know. But don't stop taking your medication, because then you're going to be before me and I'm going to ask what happened.
Your Honor, I understand.
All right, Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
Were you gonna TIC the cases and the no contact?
Tom?
Yes to the first question.
Okay, so what cases are being taken in consideration?
Let me switch SID numbers here.
Okay, and I think I have it. Let me find it on the sheet.
County Court, you ready, Judge?
Yes.
County Court 662-116, 662-117.
All right, and are there any no contact orders?
I imagine it's probably no harmful or injurious contact
Okay.
with Sylvia, last name Casimir, Kazmir.
Okay. So take in consideration 662-116, 662-117, and there's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Celia Casimir. Mr. Ibarra, is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor, as long as the mental health, I make sure I get on my medications and start working as soon as I get out. And again, I'm most grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Ibarra, if you want to learn patience, you know what you need to do? Get an orchid. They're like $12 maybe. Orchids require lots of patience. If you can keep an orchid for a year and have it bloom for you and grow, then you will know you have mastered patience. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with probation. They'll go over conditions with you.
Can I go over there with him real quick, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
And Rebecca, could you go ahead and go to 1 so that they can move Mr. Ibarra?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Rebecca.
Judge, thank you. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Ibarra, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bye, Eric.
All right. And who is the person on 1 Lockheed?
Your Honor, I'm here.
Who's speaking?
Jaime Aldape.
I'm here too, Your Honor. Audrey Vasquez for the state.
Okay. All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 5163, State of Texas versus 1 Lock. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Audrey Vasquez for the state.
For the defense?
Jaime Aldape for Juan Laque.
All right, and Mr. Lockheed, could you unmute yourself, please? All right, Mr. Lockheed, how do you pronounce your last name?
You said it right.
Okay, thank you. See, Brendan, there's no accent over the E. That's throwing me off. We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No objections.
Mr. Laque, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lockheed, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe there was a waiver of the
Repeater offender
enhancement.
enhancement allegation. Are you proceeding on that or no?
We are waiving that enhancement. My
Any
apologies, Your Honor.
objections? No problem. Any objections to the repeater enhancement paragraph being waived?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockheed, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with assault family second? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client, oh, I'm sorry, just one moment. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockheed, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is waiving the repeater enhancement allegation paragraph. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with Jonathan Salas. The state further requests the no contact order be a condition of the defendant's parole if and when he makes parole. All right, with regards to the state's request, the no contact order be a condition of the defendant's parole if and when he makes parole. Mr. Lockheed, did you understand that the court does not have any jurisdiction over the conditions that are set by parole? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockheed, I'm showing you a paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the office is charged in indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers into evidence State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any
No objection. No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockheed, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The only thing Mr. Lockheed wanted me to tell the court is that he is sorry and he does accept responsibility. That's all we have,
All right.
Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Lockheed, how many times are you going to be sorry for something? Because here's the thing, people can say they're sorry, but then their actions mean that they didn't mean it. Like we're here for an assault family second. And I'm sure at the last court hearing you had for the other assault against Indalia, you probably told that judge you're sorry for what happened. Like, what is your problem? It seems you have a temper. What's your issue?
I just sometimes let my anger get the best out of me.
Well, here's the thing. You probably shouldn't be in any type of relationship until you can control your anger. You understand?
Yes,
Because otherwise, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find yourself at the prison for a very long time. You're going to be the grandfather in the prison who people come to say, hey, how does this place run? You understand?
yes, ma'am.
I'm going to, as previously stated, I'm finding you guilty. I'm sending you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Jonathan Salas, S-A-L-A-S, and no contact with Jonathan Salas as a condition of any parole. Anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lockheed, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because it is a affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Mr. Lockheed, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. Before you get in another relationship, you need to take care of an orchid for a year. If that orchid blooms in that year, then you may have learned patience. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and what's up with all the tattoos? You have a tattoo underneath your eye?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Was
Your
that
Honor,
painful?
we were discussing that. He's trying to get some tattoo removal. It says 210 in Roman numerals. He wants to get that taken off, Judge.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, I understand the meaning behind it more than that. It's just the area code. But I mean, can you remember your area code without putting it on your face?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
Was that painful?
Yes, ma'am. It really was.
All right, good luck to you.
I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Let them know Mr. Lackey, number 12, can go back. And Mr. Adape, I'm sorry, you're excused. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for letting me get this recalled from yesterday. Have a good one.
Sure, no problem. And Dirk Ashball, is there the pretrial services officer here on Adrian Gonzalez?
We're here, man. Adelano
Hi.
Carrillo, Judge.
All right, just one second. So Adrian Contreras Gonzalez, have you had any contact with?
Not since the end of June, man. We've been trying to make contact with them since the end of June, around beginning of early July as well.
All right, then I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and we'll see if we can get in contact with him. He needs to make sure he shows up for his hearings, Mr. Ashbaugh. Mr. Ashbaugh, if you're able to get in contact with your client, let me know and I'll reconsider.
I will, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your patience. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
You too, Judge.
All right,
Thank you so much,
for
Judge.
coming in, Adrian.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, Lisa Boyd, who do you have?
Yes, sure. I have Dennis Jeremy. It's the sentencing, or Jeremy Dennis. Sorry.
Okay.
And he was asking that we recall it for Friday, but because I mean, I just got the PSI, but I've read it and he's in the courtroom. He just wanted to bring in some witnesses.
All right, didn't he know about this hearing today?
We did. It was on our original date.
All right, we're going to go for it. If he wants to, Mr. Dennis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, you knew about this court date. This was set on June 3rd and we're on July 14th. So you knew you were coming here for court today, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you want to call whomever you want to call and see if they can come down to court today, the court will wait for that.
Okay. Yeah, that would help out a lot.
I know my wife wanted to come and speak on my behalf.
All right, didn't you wake up with her this morning?
No, man, we have a no contact order, so we haven't been in contact since I've been out.
Oh, well, I don't think your wife is coming to court to speak on your behalf, because how are you going to get in contact with her?
Well, I was hoping to call my mom. Maybe my mom could get in contact with her.
But you're not supposed to be getting in contact with your wife through third parties if you have a no contact order.
You're right.
Okay. All right, we're going to proceed then. Who's the prosecutor on this?
It was Marcus Sanders, Your Honor.
Sorry, just one moment. My computer is doing crazy things today, Brenna. All right, Abel Dominguez, who do you have?
April Sanchez, I believe, is the defendant's name.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
I am honestly not certain. It's an MTR.
All right, it appears to be Criminal Trial Division. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 12726, State of Texas versus Jeremy Christian Dennis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Lisa Voigt for defense, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Dennis?
Yes, Your Honor.
For the record, the defendant is in the courtroom. However, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered his plea by video. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years. The state is remaining silent on your applications. They're taking in consideration 2019 CR 12721 and County Court Cause number 645795. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
None from the state.
None from defense.
And are both the state and the defense ready to proceed? State?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Voigt, the state is silent, so you may proceed.
Your Honor, after reviewing the evaluations on my client, we would continue with our request for deferred adjudication. He is working full-time since he was released on bond for a painting company that he's worked in the past for 6 or 7 years. It's called All-in-One Painting Company, and he's making $18 an hour working with them. That provides stability for him and resources for being a positive asset in the community. In addition, he does have family support. He's reconciled with his father. His mother is not a part of his life, but his father and his sisters are supportive of him in maintaining sobriety and becoming a positive asset. In addition, Your Honor, he's a very young man. He is just now turned 30 years. So we feel that he could be rehabilitated with the resources that are recommended or available through his TAP evaluation, which recommended an intensive outpatient treatment. He has been using alcohol and drugs since a very young age, sporadically but continuously. And we think that has been a contribution to the problems that he's found himself in. He is taking responsibility for those and wants to make the changes so that he can return to his family And I feel that he could be rehabilitated with those assets that the court can provide to him.
All right. Mr. Dennis, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And before you answer, know that you will be drug tested today.
Negative, Your Honor.
When's the last time you used?
Last time I was out before I went to jail. I mean, I was in jail for almost 2 years, and I've only been out for like 2.5 months. And I'm just trying to stay positive. I'm trying to.
Nope, I want you to stay focused on the questions that I am asking of you.
Yes, Your Honor. No, it'd be negative. I have not used. I mean, it's been over 2 years now.
Rebecca, can I get a UA from Mr. Dennis? Let me see, she may be in the breakout room still. All right, she's still in the breakout room. Mr. Dennis, I want you to take a seat. We're going to get a UA from you before I make my decision.
Hey, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Ms. Boyd, we're going to get a UA from your client. Do you want to speak to him before he goes for his UA?
No, Your Honor, I've already addressed this issue with him.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And do you know, can you give me kind of a time frame? I'm sorry, but I'm in this live court and the judge is wondering where I am. Would I have like 15 minutes?
Yes, go do your live issue. And we'll come back.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anyone else ready?
Judge, I'm back from the breakout room with David. I don't know if he's probably in the 227th. I don't know if he's still here.
Yes, what is happening on Mr. Caldwell?
Well, there's just no meeting of the minds on this, and I understand. So we're just going to need a trial setting.
Okay.
And
so
of course, David is still working on the porn case that he got from Freddie.
All right, so here's the question on Mr. Caldwell.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
only have one file. So I'm assuming we only have one case with this court. That's a 2021 CR 0305.
That's the aggravated sexual assault of a child case, Judge. The porn case has not yet been filed, but it's out there.
Okay, this is just listed, and I say just, but this is listed as sexual assault of a child. It's not listed as
You're right. You're right. I always say aggravated because of the age of the person, but yeah, sexual assault.
Okay, so my question with regards to this specific case, has all the discovery been tendered?
Yes, Judge, and you might remember, although you probably don't because you're busy. When we last had a setting, I had Mr. Caldwell in the courtroom. I was there with my computer, and I sat in the witness room with him for several hours, showing him all of the discovery.
Oh
So,
no,
yeah.
I that's why I write it here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and I trust David implicitly. If there was anything new to come in, he would let me know.
All right, so Mr. Caldwell, where are you?
Right here.
He's in the courtroom, Judge. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Caldwell, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date, and I'm going to give you a plea deadline date because I haven't given one before, and I give everyone a plea deadline date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Norma, can you give them a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. They can come back on the 26th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on August 26th. That is your plea deadline date. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after that date, and state on that date also, the court will need an acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes.
State, is that doable?
Yes, I think have we done that already, Suzanne?
I don't know if we've signed up on the documents, but I know, you know what? You emailed me all of the discovery that you've sent me, and I think I did an electronic. Yes, I think we've done it, but I don't know that we've done it with the court.
No, it hasn't been done with the court.
Can I say something?
Hold on,
Yeah.
Mr. Caldwell.
All right.
Just one moment.
We'll get that done, Judge.
Yeah, because he's given me
We need to
everything.
review.
I think between us, we've agreed to that. We just haven't filed it officially with the court.
Mr. Caldwell, yes.
Yes, my attorney stated that I had spent 2 or 3 hours looking at the discovery. I was in a room back here and I looked at it for about 20 minutes.
Okay, Mr. Caldwell?
Yes,
These
ma'am.
are- These are issues that you can take up with your attorney. So if there is something that you need to remove the glasses from your head as well.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. So, Mr. Caldwell,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a firm believer that communication is key.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you have your attorney's phone number?
Oh, we talk all the time, Judge.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing, Mr. Caldwell.
Okay, I want to say something when you get through that.
All right. You have your attorney's phone number. You can speak to your attorney. You can set whatever appointments you want. You guys can have a meeting of the mind and meet in specific places. Now, here's the thing. I have given you a plea deadline date. That's over 30 days. So between now and then, whatever you and your attorney, you can take your hands off your hips. Between now and then, and I say take your hands off your hips because what I've learned from psychology courses is when you fold your hands, when you put your hands on your hip, you then close off all communication. So I want you to be open to what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. And if you could step back a little bit because I can't see you. You're so
Okay.
tall. All right. Right there. That's good.
All
So, Mr. Caldwell, it's a Wednesday. Let's keep it as a happy Wednesday. Let's not turn it into a Monday. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you a date in August. Between now and August, your attorney will be able to discuss with you whatever needs to be discussed. You can discuss whatever you want to discuss with your attorney between now and then, but I don't want to get in between you and your attorney's communication. Okay? So
Judge,
after saying that, is there anything?
I would, sorry.
Yes, Ms. Kramer.
I would just like to say, just for the court's edification, that on that day, I had several other in-person hearings that day. I set them up with my computer in the witness room, and I brought up the videos, and I left them there while I went to all of these other courts. When I came back, he's saying, I don't want to look at any of at most of this. And I actually did say to him, and I'm just letting you know this for if it comes down the pike later. Mr. Caldwell, I am not going to sit here and not show you everything because I know good and well later you're going to say that you didn't see everything. I'm going to make sure that you look at everything. And I left him literally in the room with my computer. And occasionally I would run back into the room to see if he was looking at it. And sometimes he said, I don't want to look at it. And I would bring it up anyway, because I knew this was the kind of thing I was going to get later. And I just wanted to let you know this for whatever happens down the road.
Okay, wait a minute. Time out, time out, time out. Okay, everyone, here's the thing. I see now being a judge, sometimes I have to be a mediator, a counselor. You know, when I was in elementary school, David, I would end up help be the crossing guard, or you have the thing where you're the child of the month or whatever. You got to make sure that everybody plays fair and everything. So now I'm doing this. So Mr. Caldwell, I understand what you're saying. I have heard you. I've internalized it. I've heard your defense attorney. I've heard what she said. I've internalized it. What I'm going to tell you, Mr. Caldwell, and I want you to listen clearly. I want you to internalize it. I'm giving you until August 26th. Everybody will have a chance. You will have a chance to look at whatever you want to look at. If you want to look at something more, then I'm sure your defense attorney will allow you and make arrangements for you to look at something more. And guess what? I'm here Monday through Friday from like 8:15 to 5:30. So if anytime someone wants to use the courtroom to look at whatever they want to look at, the courtroom is available. Now, the courtroom will be available till 5. I'm just usually here till 5:30. But I like to let everybody work from their 9 to 5. Yes, Mr. Caldwell.
Okay. Since the time I've had this lady for a year and a half.
Well, let's start here, Mr. Caldwell. First of all, I require that everyone be respectful to everybody. So that's not this lady. That's
Ms. Kramer.
Kramer, or either Suzanne, or either Miss Suzanne Kramer, or either Miss Kramer.
Ms. Kramer.
So here's
I
the
have
thing, Mr. Caldwell.
I need a chance to say something.
No, but I'm trying to tell you this.
I'm
I know where you're going with this, Mr. Caldwell. And what I'm going to tell you is
I have never talked to her on the telephone once, not
Because
once.
we've talked in
Only
person.
through texting, and she says.
All right, time out, Mr. Caldwell.
I like
Mr. Caldwell.
okay. I like okay.
Mr. Caldwell, this is what we're going to do. You're here. Your attorney's here. Are you available to speak with your attorney now? Yes or no?
Yes, I can speak to him right here.
Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. You can talk to your attorney. Look at me solving problems.
And
on
of
a
course, the
happy
last
Wednesday.
setting, Judge, I spoke to him from,
I
like
just want you to
9:30
know
to
what's going on,
noon
Ms.
and the.
No, and Mr.
Oh,
Caldwell,
my God.
I understand what, Mr. Caldwell, I understand what you're saying. So I'm about to solve any miscommunications or problems. I'm sending you to a breakout room with your attorney. You can stay there in the breakout room and talk to her for as long as you want to. And if you all want to come back tomorrow and talk, you can come back tomorrow and talk as well. So she's in breakout room number 9. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 9. And everyone, please, let's keep this a happy Wednesday. To the court, can you let Mr. Caldwell go to the breakout room to speak? No, it's going to be in the courtroom, Mr. Caldwell.
Right here.
No, the courtroom will tell you how to go there. All right,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Put some patience in your pocket. Victoria Cruz.
Happy Wednesday.
All right, I'm glad to see you're out of the porta potty. Victoria Cruz. What is happening with Mr. Ramirez?
Your Honor, we're very close. The state is working with us. I have received an offer that I am going to clear with the immigration attorney. It is within the parameters of what he's described, so he's just gonna look at the statute very closely. I should have a response soon.
All right, because we were here on June 11th for immigration issues and a Padilla letter. So what date are you stating?
If I could get 20 days, something like that. Mr. DeMott or his associate responded fairly quickly, but then he didn't respond. So I'm assuming he's in immigration court, but I think he'll get back to me in a few days, tops.
All right, Norma, can you give them a 30-day reset? There will be no further resets for this letter, Ms. Cruz.
We have the Padilla letter, like he told us the parameters of it. It's just now he's got to check the exact term.
All right, so 30 days, that's it. There will be no further resets relating to immigration issues. Okay, Ms. Cruz?
Understood, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Victoria, I can do the 16th or the 17th.
Hold on, let me check because it's been a circus. Let's see.
I'm done with.
17th should work.
Yeah.
What day?
The Tuesday, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what date are we doing?
The 17th.
All right, it's going to be August 17th. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. And Mr. Ramirez, you're excused. See you back on August 17th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Caldwell.
Judge, I am getting,
Right, time out. Mr.
I'm gonna
Caldwell.
follow my.
Mr. Caldwell, I'm gonna see you back
Well, I
on
can't
August.
hear. Hold on, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Are you
All
there?
right, Mr. Caldwell, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can I
All right,
please
we'll
just,
see you back on August 26th.
okay, but can I just please say to you what I want to say to you?
All right, Mr. Caldwell, let me just tell you right now, if it's gonna be something negative,
No, it's.
well, no, let me
I won't
finish.
get a chance to say.
Okay, you need to listen to me and calm down.
I am.
All right, so listen, take a deep breath. Another deep breath, please. All right. I'm not going to hear anyone speaking negatively about an attorney or negatively about each other. It's Wednesday. Everyone, let's keep it a Wednesday. Let's not try to turn this into a Monday. I understand that tempers can run high. I've given you a date of August 26th. Now, is there something that you want to say that is not negative?
Yes. All I wanted to say, ma'am, in the time I've had this attorney.
See, stop right there. You're about to say something negative. I'll see you back on.
I haven't got a chance to talk to her on the telephone. I haven't got a chance to meet with her personally. I haven't
All right,
got a
I'm
motion
going to see you, Mr. Caldwell.
Okay, okay, ma'am. I'll see you on.
No, stop with the okay, ma'am. Here's the thing. I know what is happening. I sent you to a breakout room. You had a chance to talk with your attorney. Obviously, something happened that wasn't very nice. So I will see you back on August 26th.
Okay.
And here's the thing. If you, is Ms. Kramer appointed to represent you?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so she's appointed to represent you. If you are looking for another attorney, if you want another attorney, that's fine. Everyone, you're more than welcome to hire an attorney. In my day, you would go through the yellow pages, you would see an attorney, but now I'm sure you can Google, you can talk to friends, relatives, whoever you want to talk to, raise money, have a barbecue plate sale, or whatever you want to do to get another attorney. But Ms. Kramer has been appointed to represent you. One thing I require, because I realize tempers run high because of the type of cases that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. Everybody's upset. Everybody feels that they've been hurt. But I require everyone to be respectful to everyone. And obviously, we're not at that place right now today. So what's going to end up happening is I will see you on August 26th. You have Ms. Kramer's phone number, pick it up, call her. Y'all are both adults. You can make your own appointments. The end.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. James DeWiggins.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, happy Wednesday. Who do you have?
Raymond Longoria, but I do not see him. There was a little desk at the jail with his name on it that he was never sitting at, and now the little desk is gone. So I don't know.
Okay, we'll try to figure out where your client is. Abel Dominguez, what is happening with April Sanchez?
I don't know, Your Honor. No one ever joined me in the breakout room.
All right, could someone join Abel Dominguez in the breakout room? He's in breakout room number 2. And Rebecca, are you able to get a UA for Mr. Dennis?
Yes, I reached out to another CLO, and they want to know if he's ready to
provide the sample.
Provide, yes.
Yes, he should be ready to provide, I think.
Okay, so as soon as I get in contact with the officer again, we're just chatting. So when he comes back to me, I'll send the notice to the courtroom.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, if the prosecutors could check your email, please. All right, so the attorney on Mr. Longoria, who is that? Mr. DeWiggins, we're gonna have to reset your case. Okay, when do you want to bring him back? Yeah, you want to do August 17th?
Yeah, we'll do the 17th.
All right. Well, we do have this thing with.
Oh, we can.
Mr. DeWiggins, we're gonna have to get a reset date on your client. There are some issues at the jail with him.
Okay.
So Norma's gonna give me a date for that, all right?
All right. And will I know that date now or in the
Yes,
future?
she's gonna get it for us now. And
Thank
who
you,
are the
Judge.
attorneys on Doxie?
Judge, I'm here on Doxie. Anthony Rabago. I've been working with Marcus on it.
Judge, we can do the 17th.
All right, Mr. DeWiggins,
Yes,
we're gonna
ma'am.
come back on your case on the 17th.
Friday.
Yes,
Ma'am, also same time.
yes.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Is your client in the breakout room, Mr. Rabago?
He may be, does he need to leave the breakout room on the computer?
Yes, could you go back to breakout room number 10 and have him come to the main room, please?
Yeah, I wasn't.
And who are the parties on Houston?
Karen Corby, Your Honor, and Tom Nisbet.
Yes. I can handle that one also, Judge.
All right. thank you.
Okay.
And we're only proceeding on one case, is that correct?
DMTR.
All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 3010W, State of Texas versus Shaquille Houston. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Karen Corby, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Houston? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Houston, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Houston, I'm showing you a document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Shaquille Houston who was placed on community supervision in 2018 CR 3010W for the offense of burglary of habitation on March 22nd, 2018 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, state.
From the First Amendment motion filed June 14th, 2021. Condition number 1, on or about the 8th day of June, 2021, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Shaquille Houston committed the offense of felon possession firearm in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that, true or not true? I'm sorry?
I said true. We'll
Right.
waive this.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Houston, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 6 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, we are asking that you grant the motion revoke Mr. Houston, sentence him to the 6 years. In exchange for his plea of true, the state has agreed to TIC the following cases: 2019 CR 12098, grand jury 752426, and grand jury 752300.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Houston, are you asking that the court follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2019 CR 12098, grand jury number 752426, 752300, no contact with Michael Adams or 535 Gimler, Gembler. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Houston, and also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Houston, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Miss Houston, you're young. You have to make decisions in your life, whether or not you want to be in and out of the prison system or whether or not you want to make better decisions. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Norma, can you let them know Mr. Houston can go back? He's L5.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm also here, Max Sanchez. I've conferred, and we're going to have to ask for a reset because I'm trying to get proof that my client spent a significant amount of time in a Connecticut prison or jail.
Just give me a moment. I'll address that in 1 second.
Thank you.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 9540, State of Texas versus Xavier Dante Doxie. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Anthony Rabago.
And Mr. Doxie, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Doxie?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Doxie, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Xavier Dante Doxie who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 9540 for the offense of arson, habitation, place, or assembly on December 13th, 2019 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Xavier Dante Doxie did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person or by phone for the months of April and May 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Waive the rest, Judge.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Doxie, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, and it's in line with probation's recommendation. We're asking that you deny the motion, alter and amend to include MRT and weekly Zoom reporting for 3 months.
Defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Doxie, why have you not been reporting?
It was due to the act of COVID. I had no contact with my probation officer, and the documents that were sent to me was sent to the wrong address. I just lost communication with him.
All right, if you lose communication again, you could be looking to go into prison for life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include the MRT, weekly Zoom reporting, or in-person reporting for 3 months, and random field visits 3 times per month.
Yes,
is there
ma'am.
anything else from either side?
Nothing wrong.
All right, Mr. Doxie, from here on out, each time you make a decision, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for life? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and if you don't want that to happen or to potentially happen, you're going to have to do better.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay.
And Judge, just to let you know, I did send a chat to the courtroom to have Mr. Dennis go to courtroom 227th and ask for Julian Garcia.
All right, thank you. All right, Karen Corby.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Karen Corby.
Yes, Judge, sorry.
Yes, who is your other client?
Max Sanchez.
And what is happening with Max Sanchez?
Judge, we have a potential agreement if I can just get proof that he spent time at a Connecticut state prison. I just haven't been able to get that accomplished.
And how long will that take?
I would ask for 2 weeks.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Sanchez, can you recall that in 2 weeks, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. I can do the 20, hold on. I think it's the 26th. I can do the 26th, Judge, or we can come back on the 26th or the 28th.
26th or 28th?
28th, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on the 28th.
Thank you so much. Have a
All right,
great day,
you're
everybody.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right. Norma, did we get a date on Mr. Longoria?
Yes, ma'am. August 17th.
All right, who are the parties? Anyone ready? Greg Ramirez on Clifford.
Judge, we're waiting for the ADA and the probation officer to come out of talking, and then we should be able to maybe work it out. There's
Okay, and I'm signing some paperwork on George Kelly.
I'm here for that. I had just finished it. I was going to ask, do you need the clerk to go in there to swear him to the oath?
Just one moment, because there's emails that just came my way.
Judge Boyd, Joanne de Hoyos had said that she had owed you a joke. May I give you a joke?
Yes, please do.
What did the buffalo say to his son as he left the pasture?
Bye, son.
Yes, you knew it. You knew it. Yep. Okay, very good.
I like that one though. I'm going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm still telling you though, you know what my favorite joke is of all time? The one, why was the strawberry crying?
His mother was in a jam.
Yes, that's
Yes.
why.
Yes, that's actually good.
Hey, I'm telling you. Okay, so I've signed all the paperwork that's been sent to me. Does he just have a motion to revoke or is it a plea? Isn't it a plea?
George Kelly is a plea. There's no application for probation.
Okay, all right. I just received the plea paperwork, just came to me, so let me sign this. Okay, and then I'll send the clerk to what courtroom, what breakout room were you in? Number 5?
Yes, I was in 5.
All right, if the clerk could go to breakout room number 5, please. Rafael Leal, who are you here for?
Bella, Your Honor. Victor Manuel Bella.
All right, have you talked to the state?
The ex parte motion, Judge.
All right, here's the thing, Mr. Vela. You keep filing your ex parte motions, not ex parte. And I keep reading the motion and it still mentions murder in the motion. So I received another motion from you and it talked about cell towers and the fact that someone's charged with a murder. And your client is charged with sexual assault and not murder. So I don't know if you want to correct that and send me the correct form and I will review it and consider
Judge,
it.
if I may, I filed it July the 8th at 2:52 p.m. and it's the correct motion.
No, I'm telling you what it says in your motion. I have the motion before me and that's what it says. It says, when an indigent accused makes a clear showing to the trial judge that the location of his cell phone or at or near the time of the murder will be a significant factor at a critical stage of trial, the judge has a clear duty upon request to appoint a forensic expert.
We already went through this, Judge, last time.
I know, I'm telling you, that's what I keep
filed
receiving.
the correct motion now.
All right, Mr. Vela, if you want me to hear your motion, just come to court with it because I'm telling you the motion that I have, and that's the way it reads.
Well,
and I'm not going to change the.
I filed it and it's file stamped, but I'll bring it over, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Leal. So maybe that will cut down on any miscommunication, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Vela can go back?
Appreciate
and
it.
If you can put Mr. Leal's case for late July on the docket, please.
Yes, ma'am. Judge, I can do the 26th.
All right, so Mr. Baylor, you can come down on the 26th with your motion. The court will, of course, review it and consider it. Thank you, Mr. Baylor. And thank you, Mr. Leal. All right, Norma, can you let Mr. Baylor let them know he can go back? He's L27. And Mr. Leal, I'll see you then.
Sure.
All right, Abel Dominguez.
Yes, Judge. I spoke with the DA, spoke with my client. I just need to confer with the DA real fast to make sure we're going to have an agreement or we're going to go open. But we should be able to finish this today. So if I can get the sort of appeal as well, just to make sure.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. Prosecutor will meet you there. And everyone, we're going to take our break at 12:30.
Your Honor, it's Lisa Boyd. Is there any kind of update on my client with
Yes,
the
your
UN?
client went, if he can provide a sample, that will be done right away. So we're just waiting for a sample from your client.
And Judge, hello again, this is Greg. If possible, can I please speak with Mr. Clifford one last time?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me see. I'm going to move Mr. Clifford to number 6. And Greg, I will send you to 6. Ms. Boyd?
Yes.
Okay, I think what we're gonna have to do, because your client is gonna have to be tested, we're gonna have to call you back this afternoon.
Okay.
All right, so if you can come back at 2, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your patience. It's
you.
appreciated. All
Thank you.
righty.
Judge, I just sent you a chat.
Okay. All right, thank you. Do you know if they're gonna be here?
I'm gonna give him a call right now.
All right, Mr. Dominguez, what are we doing with Ms. Sanchez?
Okay, the DA needs to speak with the probation office real fast to get an answer to a question because they are recommending safety. However, my client is 7 months pregnant and we are unsure if safety will take her if she's 7 months pregnant. So I was gonna ask if we could come back because I heard the court say they want to take a break at 12:30. So if we could come back at 1:30 or 2, whatever time is best for the court, and finish this up, then that way the state has their answer and we know what to do.
And Judge, Rebecca's in a breakout room with the defendant at this point, but I just was going to ask about options, inpatient options when somebody is this far along.
Okay, because I mean, this is what I know from my experience, that whatever facility that is prison related that takes her, she's gonna need to have someone who is approved to take the baby once the baby is born while she's in custody. Does anyone know if Child Protective Services is involved?
I am unaware if they are or not.
All right. So these are questions you probably want to ask your client. And
Okay.
Meredith, let me see where she is. Rebecca is back.
Oh, okay.
So Rebecca, can you go to breakout room number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, James Toshi. And Abel, you can go to 4 as well.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Judge. I am so sorry that I'm so late. My day just completely got away.
That's okay. Who do you have?
I'm here on Brenda Carbajal, Judge. It is a plea, and the paperwork should all be.
All right, and you say the paperwork should already be there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, where's your client?
I'm right here.
All right, just give me a moment. I'm going to send you all to breakout room on number 3. And James Toshi, when you go there, you can see if they have your paperwork.
Okay.
All right, to the courtroom, if you can just put in the chat box what the results are for Mr. Dennis. Oh, I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. Who are the parties on Kelly?
Joanda Hoyos is the attorney of record, and I have permission from Mr. Kelly and from Marcus to proceed forward, and I would like to put that on the record.
All right, thank you. Marcus, I need your video. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8051, State of Texas versus George Ryan Kelly. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense,
Joseph Stateson, I'm an associate attorney appearing for today only. The attorney of record is Joanda Hoyos. Mr. Kelly, would you give the judge permission for me to do the plea in place of Mr. Hoyos?
Yes, ma'am. I give him permission.
all right, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No objection from the state.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection.
And are you Mr. Kelly?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. And Mr. Kelly, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Correct. Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Stateson, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
We have received it. We have reviewed it with the clients.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Kelly, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Kelly, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Correct. Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
We believe he is competent. We believe he was legally sane. Yes.
Mr. Kelly, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, it is, Your Honor. And if I could put something on the record regarding out-of-county cases at the appropriate time.
Yes. All right, state is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment, please. Brenda, I'm always thinking that phone call is a phone call for a medical appointment, and it turns out it's warranty for a car. I'm like, really? All right, Mr. Kelly, did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there have not.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea.
Yes, Judge. The state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Kelly, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to, Your Honor, yes.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like you to follow the plea agreement. We did want to put on the record that we had, Ms. De Hoyos and I had spoken to Mr. Marcus Sanders, Assistant District Attorney for the state, and that there are out-of-county cases, but they are not indicted. There is no cause numbers at this time, and Marcus had agreed to run them concurrent at such time if the other county chooses to elect that. But there are cases in Burnett County, Comal County, and Kimball County. Kimball is not Kendall, it's the Junction City area. But the only charge that we know of is in Comal County. There's no cause number, but it was a 4/23/2020 offense date, alleged to be charged fraudulent use / possession of identifying information, number of items, 5 less than 10. And we just wanted to put that on the record that the state was in agreement to run this time concurrent with any out-of-county charge.
Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then the court will sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with any causes out of Burnett County, Comal County, and Kendall County. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Kelly, see how things are when you communicate with people? That's all
Yes.
it requires, communication. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have one question, actually. And I was just wondering if you participated in the state jail's good time credit program that they offer?
Yes, what will end up happening is I'll receive documentation, and I do read the documentation, and whether or not I give credit depends on what you are actually doing.
Okay.
All right. Good luck
Thank
to
you,
you,
ma'am.
Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
All right. Thank you. You too. Happy Wednesday. Norma, can you let them know that 16C is excused?
They need a thumbprint, fingerprint from him. Lupe wanted to remind you of that.
Oh, Norma, they need a thumbprint from Mr. Kelly. All right. Thanks, Mr. States, and have
Thank
a good
you,
one.
Judge. You too.
Greg, are you ready on John Clifford? Because we need to take our break for
Yes,
Brenda and
Judge,
everyone.
we are. It's going to be open. I don't know. I won't take long. I'm quick.
All right. Has anyone given you the paperwork?
Yes, the CLO gave me the paperwork, Your Honor. Do
No,
I
I
need
mean-
paperwork for it? No. Certification of appeal.
Yes. We
I need
need that.
Judge, I don't want to delay. If you guys need to go, we can come back.
All right. Are you okay to come back at 2? It's just that everyone needs a break.
Absolutely, Judge. I'm not going to be the cause of anyone.
Having a bad Wednesday?
Happy people are better for my client, Judge. So
Oh, I tell you, everyone should be happy. But I tell you what, I see Mr. Davidson is popping in. If you can get that paperwork to us now, and you're saying that Mr. Clifford is Mr. Davidson?
Yes, Your Honor. Hi.
Hi, you're here for Mr. Owens.
Yes.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Owens?
The last contact I had with him, he was insistent on a trial. We had an offer I'd conveyed to him, which he did not want to accept.
All right, Mr. Owens, could you unmute for me, please? think he's going to go get someone to unmute. Oh, Mr. Owens, just press the. All right.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Owens. How are you doing today?
All right, how you doing?
All right, Mr. Owens, my understanding you want a jury trial. Do you want a jury
Yes,
trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to get you a jury trial date today. Norma, can you give me 3 jury trial dates in the box, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Davidson, has your client's evaluation been completed? Because I see you requested an evaluation for May 28th.
I did have it. I had it.
All right, did you actually speak to the doctor, Mr. Owens?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know which doctor you spoke with?
No, ma'am, I don't remember his name.
Your Honor, I'm gonna have to follow up on that and make
All
sure I
right.
can get a copy of that because I don't seem to have it in my file.
Okay, Norma, let's do this. Before we give them a trial date, I need to know and Mr. Davidson is going to need to know what the results were for the evaluation because it was a competency evaluation. So is there any way you can contact the magistrate court to see what date?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Owens, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come back at 2 p.m. We're going to find out when your evaluation will be complete, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Davidson, we'll meet you back at 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, and if everyone else could come back at 2, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.